Hey, what's going on, guys? It's MaxMax24, and Transformers is coming back to live action this year with Transformers Rise of the Beast, and I cannot wait, alright? I enjoy me some Transformers. I enjoy watching Transformers robots fight each other, beat each other up in the streets of our cities, but Transformers has not had a good track record in the live action department as well, as far as movies go, alright? Michael Bay led this 5-movie series that was not well received. It made a lot of money, but it was not well received critically, and then Bumblebee came and tried to revive the franchise, and that was actually, people enjoyed that one for the most part, but that did not make a lot of money, and now we are back in Transformers world with Transformers Rise of the Beast this year, and I'm hoping that it continues the upward trend of the franchise so we can see the Transformers fully realized on the big screen in epic, glorious fashion. But because the 7th Transformers movie, live action, is coming out this year, I thought it'd be a great time to stop and rank every single live action Transformers movie we have gotten in recent years. Alright, before we do that, please always remember to drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, all that jazz, all the fun stuff, us YouTubers, tell you guys to do, follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I often post on Twitter and TikTok, sometimes on Facebook, barely ever on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook, subscribe to me here, and with that, let's get into ranking every single live action Transformers movie. So the Transformers live action movies heavily vary as far as quality goes, right? There's some high highs and there's some very low lows. Let me know your ranking in the comments below. Let me know what rankings you agree with or think that I'm stupid with, or maybe I'm not a true Transformers fan and you're mad about that. I don't know what you want to say, but do that in the comments. But let's just jump right into the rankings. So in last place, I would put Transformers: The Last Knight. All right, this movie, I don't even know what this movie was. All right, this movie I try to forget. They spent a while setting up this huge writer's room. They were gonna create the next era of Transformers, and this was the first product from that, and this just wasn't good. All right, this has the Knights of the Round Table, Unicron, but not well done. Optimus Prime is evil for some reason, and then he's not. This movie was one of the most needlessly convoluted movies in the franchise, and it was just completely nonsense, complete noise that I was watching. There was no rhyme or reason to most of what was happening. Mark Wahlberg, again, was super bland. He was bland when he was first introduced. He was bland here, and this led to a really just boring slogfest of a movie. Like, I barely remember anything that happens in here. It tries to go with this big epic, story with the Knights of the Round Table. It tries to, wow the audience with all this stuff, and it's just, what am I watching? I don't even know what I'm watching. This was not even popcorn movie. This was like brain turn off, popcorn in the other room, I'm gonna fall asleep in the next 10 minutes type of movie. This was not good. It was not a good movie, and I'm happy that Michael Bay's era in Transformers is technically over. Hopefully this was the end of that. Next up, I would say Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. This was Michael Bay's second Transformer movie, and this movie, it was fine. Okay, as a young kid, I enjoyed bits and pieces of this, but it's not a good movie, okay? It's filled with crass humor, it's filled with stupid characters, it's got a weird plot that sees Sam Witwicky go to Optimus Prime like heaven or something. I don't know. Optimus Prime is dead for most of this movie, and then they revive him with the Matrix of Leadership, which for some reason was buried here in the pyramids, even though I thought that the Transformers started in the first movie. This was the beginning of every single movie since. They were going further and further and further back in time and retconning their own lore every time they established it. Because I believe the Matrix of Leadership was in the pyramids, or there was some reason why the Matrix of Leadership was there, but it was before they fell on asteroids in the first movie. And then, they just kept going farther back and farther back. This movie, it's got some decent action set pieces, but the best way to describe this movie is there's a Transformer with literal balls. All right, there's a Transformer with literal balls. If that's funny, right? You laughed. You thought that was hilarious, didn't you? I mean, a ball-sack Transformer. It's amazing. Next up, I would say Transformers: Age of Extinction. Now, this movie I thought had a lot of promise. All right, going into it, Shia LaBeouf is out. This is a new era of Transformers after what I thought was a pretty decent movie, and I was excited to see what they would do with Mark Wahlberg and what they would do with this new era. And most of it I thought was interesting, all right? Transformers are hunted because of what happened in Chicago. That makes sense. They're in hiding. They gotta hide from people. But then the government works with the Decepticons or makes their own robots, which I thought was weird, based on Megatron. That would not that seemed like an interesting idea. Mark Wahlberg has two young kids with him that are very, very blank slates. One of them, I mean, young kids, I say like 20, all right? One of them has this card that says the Romeo and Juliet laws. That's not creepy. That's not creepy. If you can around a car to justify dating underage girls, that's messed up. That's messed up, all right? So this movie did have promise. I thought it could have a decent story arc. I thought it could lead into interesting stuff, but it was filled with some weird messed up things like that. Mark Wahlberg was also kind of boring as well. I mean, he could have been a badass, but he's kind of boring. And just the story, like, I don't even remember the story much here. I mean, again, a lot of promise, and it just kind of, parts of it were good, a lot of it was not. Next up, I would say Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Now, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it when I was younger, and I still enjoy it. I think this is a great closing chapter to the Shia LaBeouf trilogy. Now, I say great in terms of Transformers, all right? Great has a lot of different meanings. It's not like a great movie by any means, all right? But as far as the Transformers movies go, I think it's a great finale to that trilogy. This movie is mostly what I wanted from Transformers. Them showing up, blowing shit up, killing each other, fighting each other, and Cybertron. And we got a lot of that here, all right? We got betrayals, we got deaths, like Ironhide dies in this. We got Chicago being the center of this giant battle, Transformers fighting each other, everything going to hell. That was all interesting. That was all fun to watch. But this movie is not this fantastic movie. There's a lot of issues I have with it too. Like, I don't know. I've never understood why the Decepticons and why humans would team up with the Decepticons. I mean, the Decepticons are not going to do anything for everybody. All right, there's like this rich guy who teams up with them, and that's weird. There's the weird office building with the different like floor colors. I mean, Michael Bay was trying to inject like comedy with like Sam Witwicky and the humans, and you know Sam Witwicky and his family were fun to watch sometimes, but this is a Transformers movie. The focus should be on the Transformers, not on these human characters. I don't care about these human characters. I care about the Transformers beating each other up. That's why I came. I didn't come to watch Sam Witwicky try to find jobs and go through love troubles and break up with his. I didn't come for any of that. I didn't come for that at all. But I thought this movie was fun. It was explosive. The story didn't make a lick of sense sometimes, but I thought it was definitely a decent, well, I said great ending to this trilogy. I thought it was, you know, Revenge of the Fallen was a step down, and I thought Dark of the Moon was definitely a step up, and then the series just kind of went further down. Next up, I would say Transformers. Now, I think that Michael Bay's first Transformers movie is very, very overshadowed by what came after. I think this movie is legitimately a good Transformers movie, all right? Like, a lot of the other ones I had fun with, but I think this one's legitimately a good one. But I think a lot of people don't give it credit because of all of the movies that came after, everything that Michael Bay did after, all right? This introduces us to the Transformers. This introduces us to Bumblebee. This introduces us to Sam Witwicky and his family. This is the first time the Transformers land on the planet, or at least it's supposed to, before the rest of the movies decided that it was different. But this is the first time they show up on the planet, all right? Sam Witwicky and his bond with Bumblebee is really interesting to watch, I think, all right? Seeing these Transformers come to Earth, seeing us react to these giant robots being here, and how we've had them, we didn't want anyone to know they existed, and like the secret organization that's kind of holding them hot, you know, holding them in the dam. The beginning of this movie is also just a thrill ride with the Decepticons attacking the army bases, and like this espionage saying, oh, where's Sam Witwicky? Oh, where are these glasses? Oh, where's the cube? Oh, the Allspark? Where is all this stuff? That was all, I think, fun to watch. And I think all the Transformers were super well realized here, and they looked realistic. They looked like they could exist in our world, all right? Now, this movie's not perfect either. There's a lot of weird things, like especially like the glasses, like why the glasses, and there's some weird comedy in here. And you know, some of the characters just exist just to be attractive, and that's why Michael Bay has them. And there's like a completely blank slate there. that's Michael Bay's forte. Put attractive people with giant explosions, and this has that. But I think legitimately this is like the only good Transformers movie that he made. Like, that's actually a Transformers movie. The other one's not so much. But then in first place, my favorite Transformers movie is Bumblebee. Bumblebee does not get the love it deserves, all right? After the Michael Bay movies, people didn't really know what to expect from a live-action Transformers movie. Bumblebee came out in 2018. Michael Bay had no hand in it. He was gone. And this movie is a breath of fresh air, right? This movie is really, really good. It's kind of like a live-action Iron Giant. It gets rid of all the Michael Bay-isms, brings us to a Cybertron with G1 Transformer models, brings us to a younger Bumblebee who's actually a Volkswagen Bug, introduces us to these new characters. Haley Steinfeld's character, I believe her name was Charlie, I think. Yeah. Introduces to that. It builds off of what made the original live-action Transformers movie good, which was the relationship between Sam Witwicky and Bumblebee. It does that again here with a new character who actually has a lot more personality than Sam Witwicky had. And it's just a fun, well-made movie that's legitimately enjoyable from beginning to end. If you were burnt out by the Michael Bay Transformers series, you should definitely give it Bumblebee a chance, because this movie is actually a good movie, alright? Like, no joke, this movie deserves more praise, because, again, it's just fun, alright? It's just good, it's well constructed, it knows what it wants to do, it knows what it wants to do with the story, what it wants to do with the Transformers, and it's just a nice fresh start for this series, and we need more things like this. I'm really hoping that Rise of the Beast continues this upward trend that Bumblebee delivered, and if the Transformers series started with Bumblebee actually and not what Michael Bay delivers, I think it would definitely be more popular than it is. But yeah, that is my ranking for all of the Transformers live action movies. We got Transformers The Last Knight, Revenge of the Fallen, Age of Extinction, Dark of the Moon, Transformers, and then Bumblebee. Let me know in the comments what your ranking is. Let me know what I got right in my ranking or I got wrong. Let me know all of that below. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video.